After reading last week's reading, I am amazed at how many times the assembly, the congregation, the church, if you will, had came against Moses. I don't know. After seeing how many times Moses was backed by Yehovah, I would think that I would just have closed my mouth and said, "What's next, Yehovah?" At least I hope I would have made that statement. The problem with Korah is that he assumed just because everyone was called, everyone that can hear from God, from Yehovah, Moses was not the firstborn, so he didn't have a right for the lineages to be authority over everyone. So technically that would have been Reuben's position. How many of us know that firstborn rule is not something that Yehovah tends to go by? For an example, you can take a look at Isaac and Jacob as just a few of the examples that's in the Bible. Welcome to Reconcile the Kingdom. We're working towards becoming a harmony of the whole word of truth. My name is Patrice Robinson. As always, I welcome you and thank you for visiting me on today. We're going to go through the significance of the book of Numbers, chapter 19 through 21. Chapter 19. This is an interesting chapter. We read about this red heifer that came out of the blue. The purifying those who becomes contaminated by a corpse or a contact of someone that had died. This is the only animal that must be a specific color, red, that must not have been ever used before, no yoke. This animal was slaughtered outside the camp. Anyone that encountered a corpse was required to be purified by the waters that was used from the ashes. Chapter 20. There is a lot going on in this chapter. First, we have Miriam passing away, which is Moses' sister. Then we have Moses, who became so frustrated with the people at this time that he did not even listen to Yehovah's instruction. Instead of speaking and declaring the rock, what he did was struck the rock for the second time. And so he did not follow Yehovah's instructions, which he paid the cost for that. And then at the end of the chapter, we find Aaron, his brother, who also passed away. Chapter 21. So we have the king of Arad, the Canaanite that came against Israel. Now, Israel eventually do win this war and actually began to reside in the land that they won over. Then we have the people complaining again, saying the usual, "Why have you brought us up from Egypt to die in the wilderness?" Which led to the fiery serpents. And then we have the bronze serpent that was given by Yehovah so the people can look up on it and live. This chapter ends with Sihon and Og. Before we end on chapter 21, I want to bring your attention to what they call the Book of Wars of Yehovah. Now, this book is lost. It is not in the Torah. It's not in the prophets. It is not in the writings. So this is one of the books that has been lost. Today's focus is the red heifer. As you read the Torah, as you continue on, and then you hit with this unique instructions about a red heifer. One instruction that requires, again, is that specific color. One of the rituals that are done outside the camp. This instruction does not require for this red heifer to be a specific age or like 1 year old, like the lamb and some of the other animals. All of this is unique. This is the one sacrifice that would contaminate a priest. The one sacrifice that the ashes are preserved and used. So one thing that does make this sacrifice, this ritual, just the same as the other, is that it had to be without blemish. So it still could not have, it had to be a red heifer. It couldn't have white spots or black spots or any other mixtures. It specifically had to be a red heifer. Of course, this reminds me of the one sacrifice that is important still today in our lives, and that's a sacrifice that cleans, it unites, it builds, it heals, it rebuilds, it judges, and of course, much more. And this is the sacrifice of the Son of Yehovah, Yeshua. Join me on Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. for the Sabbath day teaching, which is the Feast of Redemption. And join me next Tuesday for Torah Chat Points as we go through the book of Numbers, chapters 22 through 24. As always, man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yehovah. Have a blessed rest of the week, and I thank you for stopping by on today. Thank you.